the other transaction, so the other transactions are 26. If you collected the money for that, so that's 26 times
Well,
$6.
they were credit card orders through her link.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so then at that point you want to, once you credit in the virtual cookie share, the money will match up, because right now it's like, so that's what confuses people a lot, because they're like, the parents might be like, oh, I don't owe the money, because you think, oh, these credit cards came through, but that, like, it's not showing that she got those cookies yet until you create the virtual cookie
Right.
share.
So it's there as a financial transaction, but not as a count of how many cookies she sold. And the virtual cookie share creates that. Yeah, I was just going to do that.
Oh, good. Okay. You want to do it?
You can do it. It's okay.
Okay.
I was
do
trying
And
to
then
open it.
for the
Okay.
rest of my girls in the troop, other than me taking their parents' word for it, like where would I see how many each of those girls had so that
Okay.
I could enter theirs?
So what's your troop number?
80473.
I'm just gonna
I'm gonna write
mimic
this down as you
you.
do it.
I'm gonna mimic you, so what I'm gonna show is looking like you've done it, basically.
Okay.
So whenever like when we mimic somebody, anything we do is like they did it. So this is your troop dashboard. So when you go right here to virtual cookie share, this screen will always pop up. It'll always, this is just what it looks like every single time.
Yes.
It just shows all of the girls. So your daughter is Liliana. So if you said she's 27, that's where you would put it in.
So that includes the one that was part of.
The only one that'll calculate is if it was a direct ship. So if it was a person who did a direct ship order, meaning they ordered cookies from the baker, say they ordered 5 packages, the baker will send them the 5 packages, but they also had one cookie share. That's the only ones that populate as a cookie share. And the way you can look at that is if you go into.
Oh, I did that, orders and then direct ship order report.
So there's that one, but then it's also the girl balance summary report. This shows everything that's assigned to all of your girls. So if you look at your daughter, let's see, it's Liliana.
Yeah.
It's in alphabetical order by the girl's first name.
Of course, she's at the bottom.
There we go. So Liliana. So right here, you see her name, their GS. So cookie share sales. Here's that one package. So that's already calculated because that was probably on a direct ship order.
Yes.
So if it's on a direct shipped order, if somebody purchased it, it'll automatically calculate. So the other 26 haven't. Right. So, and then here right now, it's looking like she overpaid $6.
Yeah, I
Oh
had
no, that's
orders,
Emma. Sorry.
I just didn't transfer them in yet.
Yeah, that's Emma. So yeah, so this will show all of the credit card transactions for each girl, and then like what's owed. So
yeah, I know Lily has balance. We delivered. I just didn't transfer them in yet.
Yep.
So then if you go back to the ABC,
yeah. So when we
I'm not putting in the 27, I'm putting in the 26.
26, exactly. Yes. So that's how you can see if anything virtually came over from there, and then you can type in whatever notes, and I'm just going to do it just so we can show you how the report changed. And you can, so some troops just add this up the entire cookie season and then do it at one time. Others will just keep doing it every time they want to. So now
I was going to do it at the end. I thought that would make more sense, right?
You totally can. So now that we've added that, I'm just going to kind of show you back when you go back to the girl balance summary report and how that'll credit that. So we're going to scroll back down to Liliana. See, Liliana Hammer now has 27 cookie share. And then if you were to go even down further, it brought her balance down less because now it's like taking into account like, oh, we got the money for that, but we now credited that. So it was -3 something. Now it's, negative 156.
Perfect. And then in digital cookie, I know if I log in as the troop and I run a report, I feel like I found it, but there's so many reports. And like when I look for one, I find something else. Yeah. It'll tell me what my other girls have for donations. I feel like I did find that.
I think you can see their orders, but let's take a look.
I'm gonna try
Um,
to log in as you two.
Okay, I can give you my login.
Oh, no,
we
that's,
can actually do it, so.
what's the troop number again?
80473. Yep, that's me. Tina with a Y.
Okay, so when you log in and you want to look, not site lead, you want to look at the troop. So this is something
Yep.
else we learned. Site lead is just when you're setting up your account. I don't know why they do it that way, but that's just when you're first setting up your account. So now you want to look at it from the troop standpoint. You want to click on the troop number of
Yep.
service unit XYZ.
And then
And then-
down at the bottom.
Yep, when you scroll down, which is weird too, like why isn't there a reports tab? These are all the things we're going to tell GSUSA. We want things to be better.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
then
could be
you
more
do
streamlined.
the
Yeah.
all order data.
All order data.
Yep. And that's literally, so every single time you run that report, it's just going to give you all the order data of girls that have come in through Digital Cookie. So if you run this again tomorrow, and now it's in Excel, so I think I'm going to have to unshare and come back in. Oh no, can you still see?
Yeah, we see it.
Yes.
Okay. So like you run this report right now, this is showing you all time, but if you run it tomorrow, any orders that have come in since tomorrow. So the
Mhm.
best thing that what we can do, again, we're still learning this, but if you filter,
Oh, column F, right?
yep, if you filter, but not even just column
Well,
F,
Rebecca, scroll more to the right. I think there's actually there might even be a column for cookie share. I'm not for donations.
yeah, the only thing I'm wondering, there's this donation right here.
Oh, yeah, look, 4, 6, 2.
But if it's, so now if it's, again, now if it comes through a direct ship link, it's already going to populate.
Yeah,
So
I
what
mean,
you
you'll
need
have to look
know,
at both, you'll have to look at both columns, but yeah.
yeah, or you can filter the orders.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
if you
Yeah, so I can
if
do
you
like
want,
donation and shipped with donation. Yeah.
exactly. So the shipped and shipped with donation is automatically going to populate to Smart
Mhm.
Cookies the way your daughter's one box did. So if you
Okay.
take those away, and these are just all the in-person orders. And then again, so now you're also looking at, it's also showing all like the girls all orders. So you could like filter that even more. So it's kind of like a little, you might have to play around. Again, we're learning all this too. So we're going to
Yeah.
like recommend things better for next year. But like, so if you're looking at Alana, we're going to just highlight where Alana ends. And like Gail said, if you keep scrolling over, here's donation.
So she has 8.
So Alana would have 8 that you would have to add as that virtual cookie share in Smart Cookies to give her
Mhm.
credit.
Yeah.
And then kind of the same thing, like that's an
For
easy
each
way.
person.
Again, if you're new to Excel, if you just highlight and you see very down here at the bottom, it'll add it up for you. So it says,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the best way to find out. But that won't tell you if they've had in person. So like if Alana was walking door to door with her order card and neighbors did it, her mom would have to tell you like, oh wait, no, we got some other ones. Like those,
Yeah.
the systems aren't going to know because they're in person. Does that make sense?
It does. I just thought because in ABC there's so many reports, I thought maybe I wasn't finding the right report for those 26 that Lily had.
Yeah. And then if we
But
look
it's
now,
I have to physically tell ABC, yes, she had
Right.
these.
Yeah, and
and if we
then,
look,
like Rebecca said, then you'll be able to see them once they're created.
yeah, and
Yeah,
if
I
you
think
like
that would be
highlight-
something best to do like towards at the end instead of having to keep going
You
in.
absolutely. So, and I can show you if you want to delete it. So I'm just highlighting like Liliana's because again, I want to see if like our logic's certain. So this is Liliana, right? And then if we do, what column was it?
Oh,
I'm like,
I don't know, I get to freeze that
here we go,
top.
column U.
U.
Okay. So let's go back to, and like Liliana should add up to that. 27. So if we highlight all of Liliana's, 26.
Which is correct.
Yes, and then the one that was on the order.
So this is highlighting everything. So one of those could one of those, you said she has 27 total or 26 total?
27.
Okay,
The
because could one of
27
those had
one
been like,
was on a direct ship, so it's not going to show on here. 'cause
oh
it's
yes,
set
you're right, because I took that off. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the best way to see those. And then again, so you can wait. So if like, and I can kind of show you now, and I can delete this for you to make it easier. So if you were managing your orders, if you like, say you were just kind of doing this as it goes and you're like, oh no, it's the end, let me make sure. If you go to manage orders and click cookie share and then apply search perimeters,
Oh,
so
okay.
far you'll see there's 26, right? And then if you edit your order, you see we already gave Liliana 26. So you can, I can like, I'm gonna delete this for you if you want, so then you can do it however you want to do it. So you can
Yeah.
delete those orders. The only orders you guys can't delete are like initial orders or planned orders. So your planned orders are going to show here. You can delete that up until the 10 a.m. cutoff, actually. So like this is what you're picking up this week. So you can't edit or delete it. But any transfers you do, like your troop to girl, girl to troop, you by clicking those three dots, you can always kind of see those.
Mhm.
And like say you realize like, oh wait, no, I messed up Liliana. It's not one at Ventureful, it's two. By clicking these dots, you can either edit it or delete it.
Yeah, that I did know.
Okay.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. That was
I know cookie share
wanna-
has always been funny. It's always been an issue. We were hoping that with the new system, all of them would have automatically directed, but they couldn't get it to work in time. So hopefully for next year it will, but it's that extra step of having to add that.
But as long
verbiage.
as I know that, like, so let's just say today was the last day of cookie sales, right?
Mhm.
How long do we have to make sure everything is entered at like
So
prizes?
you have until that Friday. So the sale ends on Sunday, March 3rd. The troops have until Friday at 11:59 on March 8th, I believe. You have that whole week to do your edits and stuff.
Okay,
And
so it's
then-
not immediate, so I have a
Nope.
couple days to.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then even
Okay.
after that, your service unit cookie managers have until that Sunday. So if it's anything that you realize like, oh wait, I missed something, you can reach out to them. They can help out. And then Gail or, my team, we can help out afterwards. We have a little bit of time too.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate the time
You're welcome.
and you answering the question.
Yeah,
Good
somebody had
question.
put in, Brooke, what may cause a negative number of cookies in Smart Cookies inventory? For example, my physical inventory is 1 Thin Mint, but Smart Cookies says -4. So what you're talking about is your on-hand troop inventory? Are you talking about that report?
I haven't looked at the reports. It's just on the dashboard.
The dashboard. Okay, so there's two things. So one, you can always, so the reports are current from like every single thing you do. If you make one transaction, the report's going to update immediately. So if you run this report, I recommend to always run it in packages, because if you run it in cases, which is the initial prompt, it rounds up or down. So it might say 0, but you might have 10 packages. So I always say run it in packages, right? And then this will show you offhand. So for Tina's troop right now, she has 447 packages that haven't been transferred to the girls. Say that's a negative number here. The negative number could mean two things. It could mean one, you've placed a planned order for this week, but you've already given credit to those girls for those cookies. So that number is going to stay negative until we approve the planned order on either Friday or Monday. Once we approve the planned order, those cookies that you like preemptively transferred, if it matches, will go to a positive or to a 0. If you don't have any planned orders pending and you're showing a negative number here or in the dashboard, then that means that you've over transferred cookies to girls that you don't have. Something else with the dashboard, you want to always, this doesn't always refresh. So I've logged in on like a Saturday afternoon and this date and time was like Friday at 4:45. So you always want to refresh your dashboard by hitting that little circle thing there.
Right.
And then that once it refreshes, it says last updated. Right now, this would update. So like your dashboard might not have refreshed, but if it's just showing like a -1, chances are you might have over transferred cookies.
Right. How, in the end, if it still shows that, what will I need to do to
You have
fix
to do a girl to troop transfer back. So pretty much what happens is we look, if troops don't fix it before they get locked out, my team looks at it. And then what we try to do is we look at a girl and we would take those number of packages away. Like we try to do it from a girl who won't affect their rewards. So say a girl has 401 packages assigned to her. if we take one package away from her, like we know it's not gonna drop her to the lowest cookie reward. You know what I'm saying? So we just say, try to just take it away from a girl, and you can do a girl to troop transfer. That it like won't affect, or again, you can run your girl balance summary reports to like look at how many packages each girl has gotten, and you might find like an error, like, oh wait, no, this girl should have only gotten 36, but we gave her 38. Let me fix that. Does
Gotcha.
that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
And I'm just gonna let Gail, if you want to check questions, I just have to pop off for a quick second.
Oh,
and I'll
no
be-
problem. So I was just answering, Malin had a question about the subject line basically for the orders, but what I was gonna respond that I'll help everybody understand. Malin, you commented that your planned orders don't show up right away.
Yeah.
We approve the planned orders on Monday afternoon. So basically we have to wait until we get all those sign sheets. Like when you pick up your planner, you sign,
Oh,
we have
got
to
it.
wait until we get them back from the delivery agent. Because sometimes the troop won't pick up for some reason, they don't make it, they decide they don't
Got
need
it.
it or whatever. So we need to be able to delete those. So we just do everything that's like our Monday afternoon.
Okay,
Every
so I
Monday.
shouldn't be concerned if
No,
it
don't be
doesn't
concerned.
match
So
what's in
if
front
you
of me.
pick up on a Thursday,
Mhm.
we'll sometimes get those back from the delivery agent on Friday. So we might get those, but the Friday and Saturday ones, we don't get them back until Monday, usually later, like late morning, early afternoon. So we'll approve those at that point. So that's why. So you can go ahead, like if you need to transfer the cookies to the girls before it's approved, you can do that. It'll show negative on your end until we approve it, and then they'll go into your inventory.
Okay, yeah, I take inventory manually every Sunday anyway after Cookie
So that's
Booth
good. It's just
before
good.
we
It
go.
backs up what you see in the computer.
Yeah,
And then, if anybody's noticing differences between digital cookie and smart cookie, especially on the girls' side, in terms of inventory, things like that, we're aware of that. GSUSA is aware of it. We've just been telling everybody what's in smart cookies is the kind of the most important thing. That's where all the numbers should match up. There's just still that really big delay, and some things seem to sync right away, some things don't. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason from our point of view, and where, but digital cookie and GSUSA is aware, and hopefully
Okay.
we'll find a solution. Let's see.
and thank you for your email, Gail, too. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I don't see any other typed up questions. Anybody else? We have a small group, but does anybody else have any questions?
I have a few, but I don't want to monopolize time.
No, you're
If
fine.
somebody else
Yeah,
wants
so
to go
everybody
first.
learns from the questions, so it's fine. What else can?
Okay, so for our per girl average, and I think part of why it didn't jump is probably because of like the inventory taking a while. It's now starting
Right.
to make sense to me. That's probably why. So we're at 197 per girl
Mhm.
right now. And I know once we get to like 235, like the amount we get per box
Proceeds, yeah, the
changes.
proceeds change.
So the proceeds. So is that retroactive from like all the boxes we've sold, or is that just like each tier, that's what you get for that
No,
tier
it's overall.
overall?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So that was my question. And then I had to miss the inventory. My husband had COVID, and so I was stuck with the kids for like the whole week. Will that be posted soon? Because I feel like I probably missed a lot of really important stuff for the inventory management, or am I just not
So
seeing
from
it?
last week, I did send it out.
Did you? Right,
Yeah, I think so. If not, I can always it's posted it's on Rallyhood too.
Is it on Rallyhood? Okay, I'll
In
find
the
it.
links section, there's a Cookie Rookie folder, and if you want to call it that, and they should all be in there.
Okay, because I kind of want to read that before I ask some more of my questions. And then I guess I just want some guidance on our like last order, because I'm terrified we're gonna have a lot of cookies left and have to pay like all this money. So I'm just like so afraid, because it's like 2 weeks. I have to order for 2 weeks, and we've never sold before, obviously, just like everybody else. So I'm just like, I don't want to over order, but I also don't want to like gyp the troop out of.
I mean, you should do like a
I was
last
just
call
gonna
to
say,
your
Rebecca's better with
parents.
inventory than I am, so.
Yeah, like you can do like a last call to your parents like this week. And I would just say, FYI, the last trucks are this day. After this time, we really can't get cookies. It's not guaranteed. So, you know, kind of do your last call with your customers. Let me know what you need. You know, look at how many booths you might have, but definitely don't over order. The thing too is, there's usually troops out there who have cookies too. So like worst case, you can always do a troop to troop transfer, get some from, you know, troops who might have some lingering who didn't sell, you know, so definitely order more on the conservative side, but ask your parents like, hey, last call, like anything after this day is not guaranteed. We can do our best to try to get it, but we don't want to go over because if we do go over and we have to pay for that, we're going to have to lose out on the proceeds, you know, because the balance has to get paid the end of March. So that's going to pull out from our proceeds. So, and parents will have to be trying to sell cookies for a while. So,
Can I, Malin, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but there's a, Girl Scout cookie exchange for our area.
Okay.
I can tell you what it's called. It's like what is the GSCSNJ, cookie exchange, and people are asking for cookies. And they're
Oh,
also
already?
crossing, yeah, because they don't
Yeah.
want to go to the truck. It's called GSCSNJ Cookie Swap.
Swap.
and there's
okay.
the county cookie swaps on our cookie hub too on Rallyhood. Have you seen that?
Oh, no, that I didn't see.
Gail, do you
But I
want
know
to
like this one is like
the
close.
Rallyhood?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Rebecca? Did you? I don't have the, I don't have Rally on Hood over here. I don't have the swaps on my Rally Hood.
Oh, yeah, this one just like popped up in
Oh,
one of like the
I
Girl
can
Scout
do it.
groups.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Facebook one is good too. And then let's see.
Let
And
me
it's
try to
nice
get
because
Rally
it's
Hood to
like
log
a lot
in
of
before
people
I
in our
share.
area, like Malin, I'm not sure where you are. But like a lot of people were like, oh, you know, I have adventurefuls if you need them, does someone can
Oh,
switch
that's good
out
to
for,
know.
yeah,
Oh, the cookie,
so,
wait, I might have it here, so it's logging in really slowly.
I mean, that's an option.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I do have the swap, you got it, okay, I found the swaps, but.
Yeah, so it's under the cookies hub. When you're in which the all things cookies is also under the cookie hub. So if you like go under cookie hub /GSCSNJ.org, this is where you'll see the all things cookies, and then it's by counties.
Okay.
So again, it's, you know, you can see how many members are in there. They're slowly building up because this is new. We used to have it on TMAP. So I think some people who don't like Rallyhood created the Facebook page, which is awesome. Hey, you know what? The way to get in touch with people, but it's kind of the same thing. So like say you're in Mercer County and you're willing to like go or bring cookies to around Mercer County. This is where you just post a message and say like what you're looking for, you know, or what you have, you're willing to transfer, deliver, all that stuff. So that's another
I
way.
didn't know that one was there. Thank you.
Yep. But definitely, we always say err on the side of caution, you know, try to do a last call now, let your parents know. And then just kind of give that disclaimer, like, hey, after this day, like, we can't get them off the truck. We'll do our best. We're not getting full cases. You know, say we only need 2 boxes of lemonades. I don't want to get a whole case.
Yeah.
You know, and then try to just work with the troops in your area. You can talk to your service unit cookie manager too, because they might have their distribution list or your service unit Facebook page, your service unit rally. And usually troops are all helping each other out and just transferring cookies around at the end.
Okay.
Proceeds, I see the question, proceeds get deposited into our accounts and in March. So no, so proceeds, you have bank accounts. So your proceeds stay in your account. So when if you run your troop balance summary report, that's going to take into account your troop proceeds. So there's a breakdown section. And then what happens is the final ACH that happens takes into account all of like the booth credit cards, but then that final ACH is also taking into account all of the direct shipped orders. So none of your direct shipped orders have come out of your ACHs yet. That's going to calculate that very final ACH pull. And then it'll show you. So you're essentially only paying what you owe us at the very end. So for some troops, depending on how many direct ship troop orders they have, like that could put them into the negative, meaning we owe you money. And then what happens is we do an audit and we usually process those refunds back to you in like April. And I'm just trying to see if I can do another share and I'll show you the let's see. So under reports, it's your troop balance summary report. So this is always the one you want to go to. Give me a troop number again. Sorry, what's yours, Tina?
80473.
No, what I usually have some in my head that just automatically pop up, but I'm drawing a blank tonight.
Okay.
So yeah, so right now your report's 7 pages because this report shows you all of the credit card transactions. But if you just kind of 473, if you just kind of want to see a snapshot, they added a snapshot report. So it's troop balance summary snapshot. Sorry, 87403.
80473.
The numbers all start to blur. So this is the snapshot report that doesn't, basically it's the exact same thing. It just doesn't show all of the credit card transactions, but this shows your troop number, your level, your PGA, that what calculates your proceeds is based on your per girl selling. So right here, you can see for Tina's account, all 7 of her girls are selling. Now, had only 5 of those girls been selling, your PGA is only calculating on those 5. The 2 girls not selling will not bear your PGA at all. It won't have any effect so that you're not like losing out on proceeds for that. So then what happens is you get down, it shows like your initial order. Again, the cases is first, and then if you see a slash and a 0, then that's like full cases. But if you were to see a number, see the damages -0/3, that means you've damaged 3 packages. Sorry, I've got a cranky man today. That means you've only damaged 3 packages. So your total cookies received is 78 cases and 9 packages. And then cookie share right now, again, cookie share is, I deleted those other ones. So that 6 packages is only showing 6 packages that have come over from direct ship, since those calculate automatically. Then here's all your direct shipped. And you can run this report in just packages too, if that makes it easier for you.
Okay.
And then down here, it shows your transfers in. So these are any trucks, any place you've gotten cookies from, whether it was a truck, a warehouse, we gave you extra gluten-free, or if you had a troop give you cookies, they would show there. If you transferred cookies out, so say you gave another troop cookies, that would show the transfers out because it's then deducting those cookies from your inventory. And then there's all the totals, and then see right here, this is where it shows your proceeds and the council money. Now, this is going to change. Like as you keep getting cookies and as you keep transferring cookies to girls, your PGA is going to shift. So right now your PGA is 259. But if you remember, you still had like 400 packages not transferred to the girls yet. Once you transfer those to the 7 girls, that's going to shift. That's going to make your PGA change. It's like typical average. You know, if you had 1,000 total packages and 10 girls and you gave all the 10 girls equal packages, your PGA would be 100, right? So every time you do changes, you get cookies, give cookies, transfer cookies, this is continuously changing. So that's why we don't do that final ACH until the very end, like 3 weeks after the sale's over, everybody's locked out, all the problems are fixed, everything's calculated. So then your final number is where you'll see all of this stuff. So the finances is where all the credit cards come out, all of the ACHs, like the big report will show all of that deducting it. So when I say negative money right now, like if it were to be the final ACH, we would owe you, because there's parentheses, we would owe you $105. That means that you overpaid your troop proceeds. So you would have that money essentially already in your bank account, and then we would give you the difference back. So we don't take the proceeds and then give it back to you. The way the system calculates it is for troops to keep the proceeds in their bank accounts and only pay for like what is due, and eventually at the end, it would be that amount that's under council money.
So if this was our final report, that 2,175, is that how much my troop is making?
That would be your troop proceeds, yes.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but again,
I was thinking a couple $100. That's a lot.
So you still
no?
have cookies to sell, and again, once you transfer those every time you transfer cookies to girls, it's alternating your Troop PGA. So, you guys will get locked out on March 8th. The service unit gets locked out that Sunday. Gail and I do extra work. We make sure everything else is final, everything else that should be done, any problems. And then that following week will trigger the report, because then all the credit cards will issue. And then that's where they're going to deduct all of those direct shipped payments as well. Like, so that's going to deduct from your final balance due as well. So it's a little, it's a little off, because if we were to run, let's see, when we ran this other report, this was your long report. None of these that say Smart Cookies direct ship has been taken into account yet for ACH purposes. So they're showing it, it's there, but we haven't taken it into account for the final balance due. Right now, only like the credit cards up to a certain date have been deducted, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
My girls
so
are killing it. All 7 of my girls.
Yeah, so you'll see, I mean, it's, you should have that money because you've been collecting all that money. So really with the way credit cards have become so much bigger now, is a lot of troops will have like negatives because we deduct all of those credit cards. So those credit cards come directly to us. We figure all that out before that final payment. And you're like, well, wait a minute, I don't have $2,000 in my account. That could be because you had $1,000 in credit cards that we had to deduct at the end. That means we're now going to owe you that $1,000, so it all equals out. Back in the day, again, I've been doing this since 2004 when my daughter started. Everything was cash and check. I was the service unit cookie manager. I lived in Hillsborough, New Jersey. We had I think we had 110 troops, over 1,000 girls participating. And at the time, we didn't do bank accounts. We didn't do ACH. The troops all had to bring their final money to me to deposit into the bank. And I was like 25 years old. I was sitting in my room, like in my parents' 2-family house, surrounded by like $500,000 in cookie cash and checks. And my dad came up to me. He's like, where did you get all that money? And I was like, Dad, it's cookie money. And yeah, it was crazy. Like none of these computer systems existed. It was very old school, like Excel spreadsheets, and troops just deposit. They like dropped it off to my parents' house, like in a box, like here's a check for $10,000. Crazy. Yeah. Can't believe it's been like 21 years, about 21 years. So, it's definitely gotten better. And then, you guys keep your proceeds unless we owe you money. And then we will give that back to you in an ACH deposit directly into your check. And again, it's usually around like end of April-ish, because we have to do the audit first for our finance team. And then once that's all good, they do the deposits.
And then when do we have to have our the reward thing? And I know if I go to I click the rewards tabs and then I do manage recognition orders.
Yep. So rewards are probably, I think they may have opened. If not, they open soon. Same thing. You have to do that by the time you get locked out on March 8th. So, you'll have to input the rewards into Smart Cookies. I know the girls can see them in Digital Cookie and select it, but there's still issues with, synding the thing. So they may not be fixed by that timeline. So as long as your Smart Cookies is correct and like, hey, Liliana sold 200 cookies, and that's correct in Smart Cookies, it will populate in Smart Cookies the choices that she has to make. And then you would just have to reach out to the parents, or, you can pull the report from Digital Cookie and hope to get as much as possible. That makes sense.
It does. Yeah. And I just clicked on it. I don't want to click on anything and mess it up, but it says
if you somehow do create like a recognition order, just call us and we'll delete it. That's why I usually wait to, open it up, because sometimes they automatically calculate and then people are stuck with it and we've got to delete them and start from scratch. So I try to wait until the end of February before I let that happen. So
yeah, it says February 23rd.
Yeah, because they were automatically making recognition reports, and then people were locked out and we had to go in and delete a whole bunch. I don't know why it did that. So
that's February 23rd. We have to do that.
Yeah, it says February 23rd.
You can start doing it on that day, like, cause some troops do wrap up and are finished, but you have until March 8th at 11:59 PM.
Okay, for the
And we'll
rewards and
send-
smart cookie.
Yeah, and our
Yeah.
next cookie rookie meeting, we're gonna talk about, and we'll have a presentation on like wrapping up, like what needs
Okay.
to be done, what to look for, what reports to run. So we'll talk about all of that stuff in next week or the week after.
I think it's
Okay.
2 weeks, I think.
Gail, do you want to show about the damages or something in the chat about that?
Yeah, I had two. I don't need to keep, like, they're still sitting in my living room in a box that says damage. I didn't know if I needed to like submit proof or keep them or anything. Can I
If it's
just
just
throw
2
them away?
packages, then you're fine. And you
Okay.
were able to create the
Yeah,
mark them as damaged. I'm sorry. So, okay. Does anybody need to see that, or do you understand how to do that?
No, mine was just the missing 3, and you guys had helped me when I sent the picture because I
Yeah,
didn't
and
know what
so
to
as
do.
long as, I think if it's 6 or more for the whole season, so Maylin, you can take a picture just to have in case you do hit over 6.
over 6.
But we pretty much tell people if they were ripped open or open, feel free to throw them away. Obviously, it could be compromised and we don't know. If it's just the fact that like the box, the glue was open, but the packages were closed, and you know, like the quality's okay, you guys can eat them. You can give them to the girls. You can sample them at booths. We just tell you to like use your judgment. Obviously, if it's something where they're open and like gross, like throw them out. But don't feel like, oh, it was just because the box was all like, you know, I know the Adventurefuls, we've been having some like dented boxes, but the cookies are fine. You know, somebody may not want to buy them and that's okay. You can damage
Yeah,
that.
like legit, like the plastic.
It looks weird.
It
Yeah.
was just unsealed.
Yeah, like if it's unsealed, I wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Again,
throw 'em
we
out.
don't know, but
Yeah.
you don't have to keep those. But yeah, if it's something where it's just like the box looked crappy, but the insides were fine. Again, the girls can eat them, you can eat them. Some troops will use them and give samples at booth sales. Like that's okay if you feel like the product was still like in a good state. But don't sit on those. We used to collect them in the offices and it was so gross. There was like bugs in them and stuff because people would be collecting them for like 3 months. And like grasshoppers, it'd be like in their garage. And we're like, ew, we don't want these. Like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're throwing them away. So
Yeah. Okay. I guess just, I think I already know the answer to this, but like digital cookie, we know that you can't really rely on it per se, because like so many girls are like having problems with it being right. So like
Right.
just to clarify, like everything that we need to do can be done in smart cookie. Like I don't, except for returns, I don't need to rely on digital cookie for anything,
yes.
right?
You're
Okay.
right. Yeah. Smart cookies is all the behind the scenes. So all the financial transactions, the totaling up of things, the rewards, the
Yeah.
transferring of cookies, everything, you know, the total counts
Yeah.
for the girls, all of that is in smart cookies.
The only thing is that the direct ship and like the credit cards and those orders. So you just want to like make sure you run that report and then eventually like at the end, like make sure all of those orders have come over to Smart Cookies.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
don't know.
that's
Okay.
like the order, like remember that order report that we showed, like you can
Yeah,
run.
the
Yeah,
all-
just
all
some girls
data.
still aren't showing any cookies at all. So like I don't know how that's gonna, like I just don't know if
Like they're not showing cookies you've transferred to them or cookies.
nothing.
Yeah,
no,
so
the
that's
whole
something.
time.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's what we've heard back from GSUSA. And Gail and I have been answering some emails with that because we just heard back. They're not sure what the bug is. Some troops are fine. Some troops like they're coming over immediately. Some troops it's like 5 to 7 days. They cannot figure out what the bug is, and they're like they have their IT people looking at it, but they're just like there's no fix for even us. Like
Right.
so that's why we're like, if it's about the cookies you've given girls, as long as that's correct in Smart Cookies, you're good. If it's like, again, at the very end, when the sale ends, you want to make sure you run the digital cookie, that order sales report, because that's any orders that came in through their links. Those apparently are syncing just fine now. Some are still, you know, from what we've heard, like weekends are really fast, during the week's longer. I haven't been getting a lot of complaints of those taking too long anymore. But
Yeah.
that's really the only thing from digital cookie that you just want to make sure you run that report and
The
then
credit card
looking.
report.
Exactly.
Right, just
You
the
wanna make
report,
sure
so you
all of
see all the
those-
credit card sales.
Yeah,
Just to be sure that they do match up with smart cookies, but they should. It's just that
Okay.
it really seems to be the biggest thing that I've been hearing the last couple of days is that your inventory numbers in digital cookie don't match smart cookies, but smart cookies is correct. It's just a digital cookie on the, you know, if a girl has 10 packages in hand, digital cookie might say 0, might say 5, but
Right.
smart cookies has the right number.
Yeah, and it's what's driving me crazy is that it feels like none of my girls have the same thing. So like some of my girls is fine, some of them aren't
Yeah.
showing any, some of them it's just really delayed.
There's no rhyme or reason.
No,
and
there's
they
no rhyme or
just-
reason.
They can't figure it out. And they're like, and again, because that's like the least of the worries, because we know you've transferred that correctly.
Right,
into
sure.
cookies. So we're like, they're like, well, what about parents who are questioning it? So you can take a screenshot and show them like, hey, don't worry, or send them the girl balance summary report. Like, no, your girl is getting credit. Don't worry. And we know it's frustrating because this is this great system that we're supposed to, parents can manage their inventory and all that stuff. So in theory, it should be a really awesome thing. And their tech team, the IBM team of Smart Cookies, they're just trying to figure it out. And they're like, we just don't know. And we don't have a timeline. So like, sorry, we're like, okay, that's not helpful,
Yeah.
but thank you
No,
for
it's
an
not.
answer.
Yeah,
so
and then
yeah.
Gail, the thing that I was talking about, just in case it
Right.
wasn't clear, it's that like when I look at my daughter, when you look at her online orders and digital cookie, it'll say like donated,
Right.
and it'll say shipped, and it'll say in-girl delivery, and then if it's more than one thing, it'll be like a little plus sign,
Right.
and you click on it, and then it shows like, oh, it's in-girl delivery plus donation.
Right.
But some of my girls don't have that at all. Like
It just
you have
says
to
like,
go through. Yeah, that's what I was like, that's what I meant is like, it doesn't say like even donation. It just
That's
says
weird,
like,
yeah.
girl. Yeah, it's
that's really
super,
strange.
it's
I'll
really
look,
strange.
I wrote your troop number down and made myself a
Yeah.
note. I'll take a look at it in the morning.
Yeah, and the one girl who we had the problem with is Elizabeth Bradshaw. If that's
Okay.
helpful for you. Like we had to go through all her orders manually and find the
That's
donated
really
package.
strange. Because they should
Yeah.
all just have that label, but again, who
They
knows?
should.
But yeah, because you're the first person who's told me that one, so that's new.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you know about it because I told my parents, I said, let me know how many donated packages you have. And like only one person told me something, but I think people have them and they don't know because it's not being listed, I think.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to go through with the parents when the next time they come and just be
Right.
like.
Well, if you run that all data report that we were looking at earlier, then you'll be able to see who has cookie shares too. The one that's at the bottom of the digital cookie troop screen. That the big
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheet that Rebecca brought up earlier.
Yeah, I just don't know that I would trust it if it tells me,
That should, because that is taking the data from the credit card sales that came in, so.
Okay.
But I'll play around with it tomorrow for you when I have
Okay.
like, fresh
Thank you.
eyes in the morning, and I'll take a look. And we can compare. Here comes my cat. Any other questions, anybody?
No.
Awesome. So you know where to find us if you think of anything else. And I'll send out a reminder for our next meeting shortly.
Do you know what day that is?
I have
the
so many
20th?
tabs.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We hope
Thank you
this
so
was
much for your
helpful.
time. Really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Trying to
Very
find it.
helpful. Thank you so much.
Is it, Gil? I think it's the.
I'm trying to
the
find it
20th,
on the
right?
calendar.
Yeah.
Had to find the right tab. Sorry. It's the
I think
20th,
it's
February
the
20th.
20th.
Yep, and that'll specifically focus on like the wrap up, what to do at the end, what we need to do before you get locked down and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's very helpful. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for